that when you go to your ATM machine,
You get credit.
you can take out your money.
Yes.
Of course, it's a little sidebar. You know, usually when you go into the ATM machine, the Ministry of National Security would warn you, take a look around your surroundings before you go into the machine room. But little do we know that now you look around, you don't see anybody. You go into the machine room, and the Minister of Finance waiting for you in there.
That was the opposition spokesman on finance, Audley Shaw's response to the withdrawal tax being proposed by the government. To cover $2.25 billion of expenditure, the government is proposing that $1 be charged on every $1,000 transaction at deposit-taking institutions including banks, credit unions and building societies. This would affect electronic banking, point-of-sale transactions, checks, banking hall transactions, ABMs, ATMs and internet transfers, with the only exception being the internet transfers made by a person between his accounts in the same financial institution. It's by far the one issue that has Jamaicans united, with most saying it's onerous and unfair. It's a position Mr. Shaw has reiterated.
After the 33.3% of income tax and the payroll deductions, Jamaicans now have to pay GCT, Mr. Speaker, on purchases, pay GCT on electricity, pay the bank a fee to collect the money, pay GCT on telephone calls, pay tax on fuel, pay property taxes, pay motor vehicle fitness and insurance. If you do property transfers, you pay stamp duty and transfer tax, pay on interest earned in savings account,
Money done.
and of what precious little that remains to purchase food at higher prices due to devaluation and inflation. Instead of restraining financial institutions with these charges, the minister has come with a tax of his own to tax withdrawals. Shame.
Wicked.
Shame.
Instead, he suggested that the government find other ways to collect the money it was seeking.
I call today on the Minister of Finance to find $2.25 billion of fat and inefficiency in the bloated bureaucracy and leave people's hard-earned money alone. In fact, some people are always saying, if you criticize, you must always tell us how we're going to get the money. The Minister of Finance, he disposes.
Yes,
He has the experts. He can do the analysis.
take the job. Take your contact one.
But I will just give the Minister an idea, Mr. Speaker,
So you couldn't do it.
of some areas that he could cut. The government should seek to identify areas of expenditure that can be tightened up. These include foreign travel and smaller delegations on these visits. A smaller budget at the GIS with the advent of public broadcasting and live parliamentary coverage. This should no longer require large sums. Cut down on the army of consultants in ministries, departments and agencies. There's a lot of fat there. Equally, the program of developing competence in tax compliance has to be driven more aggressively, as there continues to be high levels of tax avoidance and tax evasion in this country.
The bank tax aside, Mr. Shaw said the overall condition of Jamaica has worsened.
The fact is that the rich are no longer getting richer. The middle class is rapidly becoming the lower class. The lower class is becoming the poor. And the poor is no longer getting poorer. They are getting poorer. Honorable Prime Minister, I'm sorry, but you're not balancing the people's lives.